Hello, Taurus. Here's your weekly horoscope for February 28 to March 6. Well, in talking to a number of Taurus family and friends last week, it wasn't that fun of a week, very likely because of the Mars-Venus square assisting the Saturn-Uranus square with pointing out some troubles and things that needed to be taken care of. This week should be a lot better for most people, including Taurus. So first of all, we still have Mars in Taurus, but only until Thursday when it enters the sign of Gemini. Until Tuesday, Mars in Taurus is trining Pluto in Capricorn. That tends to be a very good trine for most people to lay out some new foundations and structures and create some new beginnings in life that will end up supporting you and probably being very good foundations for you to build upon and create a better present and a better future for yourself. And that can be a cycle that can last a short time or a very long time. It depends on everybody's unique horoscope, of course. With Uranus also in Taurus, still squaring Saturn off and on all year, in a tight square to Saturn pretty much till April 10th. At least, thankfully, it is semi-sextile Chiron this week as well, which is a softer aspect, and I believe pretty much the month. And then Uranus is going to sextile the planet Venus, your ruling planet, from Monday to Thursday of this week. What I like about a Uranus-Venus sextile is it tends to have you want to try new things and explore different forms of art and creativity, and it makes everybody kind of more fun-loving. Now, as this is mundane astrology that I'm doing, this is for everybody, but in particular, because Venus is your ruling planet, having Uranus in your sign and making a positive aspect to Venus in Pisces, which is a sign that is also very positive for you, it does tell me that there may be some good news coming to you this week. With Mercury conjunct Jupiter in Aquarius, although that may put that conjunction into a challenging aspect to most Tauruses, it still might end up be an aspect that brings you good news. Mercury conjunct Jupiter, sometimes it can be seen as being lucky, but very often it's just someone being smart and recognizing that an opportunity has come and you seize that opportunity, and yes, it does end up being very good for you. The only danger with Mercury conjunct Jupiter generally is people will say a little too much. Now, Taurus isn't always all that talkative. They can be, and in fact, when Taurus is willing to share communication, people should listen because Taurus usually speaks from the heart, and they could also be very wise. So when Taurus has something to say, it's usually something that's good for us to hear. Sometimes, however, that's telling people a truth they don't want to hear, but that doesn't stop you necessarily. With Mercury also trining the north node of the moon till Thursday, there is an opportunity for you to get things off your chest and to speak to people or speak about situations that need to be discussed so you can have your life go a little bit more easily from that point forward. With the sun in Pisces, it is square the moon's nodes from Wednesday on, so the first few days of this week might prove to be a little less stressful. But from Wednesday on, when the sun squares the moon's nodes like that, often karmic issues are brought out with people, situations that because it's a square may be unpleasant, and it may be unpleasant because you find out or discover that there are aspects about yourself that you would like to change. That's the good part of it. The bad part of it is you might feel bad, or you might feel bad about yourself, or you might feel bad about someone else or another situation. Well, process those feelings if you can, but try to remember there are some very good aspects, so you don't have to sit on any kind of negativity this week. You can choose to move forward away from that if you wish. Jupiter is making a wonderful aspect. It's trining the moon's north node, the same part where Saturn is squaring, and with its conjunction to Mercury all week, Jupiter is called the major benefic of the zodiac because it does tend to bring good news, opportunities, sometimes luck. As an astrologer, believe it or not, I'm not a big fan of luck, good or bad. I don't believe in it. I believe that what we think is luck is actually wisdom, that we have prepared for the opportunity that suddenly arises, or when it's bad luck, we've ignored the warning signs that the universe has been trying to give to us, and what may appear to be bad luck is just the fact that we either consciously or subconsciously do not see what's coming our way. Aside from that, these aspects I'm talking about, Jupiter, North Node Moon trine, and the Jupiter-Mercury conjunction, usually there's a lot more good news and a lot of positivity about that. And sometimes, even when bad news arrives, hidden beneath it is good news. So even if something difficult occurs in this week, try not to lose it over that, because it could be that that is the instigator of something that is very good news for you eventually. With Neptune only aspecting the moon again this week, there's a few different aspects it makes. The full moon in Virgo on Saturday may have brought some things to fruition for you in a positive way. Sometimes when we talk about the full moon bringing things to fruition, it could be that in the previous 27 days, you've kind of been leading up to what I'm talking about. And when it comes to fruition, that isn't necessarily positive, but in this case, because the full moon is in Virgo and in positive aspect to Taurus, hopefully it is bringing you good news. It may not for other people, but at least for Taurus it should. When the moon ends up in Scorpio from Tuesday to Thursday, it is going to oppose your sun in Taurus. So it could be a very emotional week for you off and on. As well, the Jupiter moon North Node trine does perhaps make it for a bit of an emotional week as well, but that's not necessarily bad emotions. And Taurus can express their emotions and feelings well enough when they want to. They just might be slow about going to that direction, but Jupiter will speed that up this week. So welcome any emotions that come. You need to process some feelings perhaps, Taurus. With the Saturn-Uranus square still very strong, unfortunately from time to time, it is going to bring bad news to people. Not necessarily just to you this week, but all signs, because this is an aspect that affects everybody. But in particular, because Uranus is in your sign of Taurus, and it's not a planet that really relates well to your sign. It's said to be in a negative position in Taurus, basically, for you. But sometimes Taurus needs Uranus to come along and push them in some new directions and to make some changes, because your sign is the king of the flat earth society, or queen, or monarch, whatever you want to say. So sometimes you do need to give up some of your old outmoded ideas and join modern times and get with it. And sometimes this is why Uranus might occur in your sign and perhaps push you, Taurus, to start looking at ways that you can make yourself and your life better. With Chiron making some softer aspects, Chiron and Aries making some softer aspects to these two planets, Saturn and Uranus, at least in your horoscope, it may not be immediately apparent, but Chiron is very likely starting to bring some healing to you and to any area of your life where it's needed as well. I think that for many people this week, Taurus included, there may be some unexpected opportunities or money coming. A number of governments are talking about sending money to their citizens because of COVID, etc. Or as we're finding some restrictions lifting, some people are having their work hours increase again, or even getting back to work if they had indeed lost their job. So there's a fair bit going on this week, but I think, Taurus, hopefully there'll be a lot more good news for you this week than there has been the last number of weeks. I sincerely hope so. Good luck.